Welcome to Roosevelt Live. We're gonna do some go back a little bit today and talk about the things that happened last week with the two officers here in Tampa that was gunned down a week ago today. We're gonna talk about the progress of where we at as a community, as well as where we at right now with the person that's allegedly committed these crimes, Mr. Dante Morris. Now, after a week long TV going, a lot of information going out over the airways, the captain of the police department here in Tampa, she's been on and off the television station, her and the mayor Pamela Ario and some of these other people, and they've talked a lot about what has transpired over the last week. And I have to say that the guy that allegedly killed these officers, again, condolences to their families, because once again, as I repeated last week, I repeat this week, that 5 children are now without a father. 1 should be delivered or has been delivered by now, and 4 more that now have no father to raise. I'm sure there's other relatives out there, but you can never replace the father, no matter how much you try. So again, condolences to those families that are out there, and also to Mr. Morris' family. I'm sure that he has parents or some relatives somewhere that had nothing to do with what he did, and I would like to say that those people, I'm sure that they're suffering as well, because I know they don't want to be associated with this type of activity. Now, since we're hearing that maybe he's being sought after in a third murder of a Derek, I think Derek Anderson, I think the last name is, that now they're saying maybe this person was murdered by him back on May 18th. So we're checking into that to see how much information we have on that case, and if so, this person definitely didn't need to be on the streets. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I know that I've seen the articles and I've saw the comments, and the city seems to be have somewhat division. I don't want it to become a race thing. I don't see it as a race thing. The guy committed a heinous crime. At this point, pretty sure that he's the one that did it. I think the videotape, even though it hasn't been shown yet, will show that he was the person that they were talking to, and he was the person that was seen running away from the scene. And even though he apparently someone got together and eventually he turned himself in. I do believe that was on Friday at a law office here on Azeel. That I don't know what the involvement is with them yet. I'm not sure. He have a right, first of all, to counsel. So I have read where people have been complaining about the law firm doing anything on his behalf. But no matter how much we dislike someone, the last time I checked, in America, you still have a right to counsel, and law firms are going to still go and take care of these cases, and they have done it in a lot of cases. And no matter how bad the crime has been, there's always going to be a lawyer out there. And even if he didn't use that law firm, by the way we set up in the United States, he would have had a right to a public defender anyway. I read articles today where people were saying, how could anybody take his case and they'll be ashamed of themselves? They have no choice. They have to offer him either his own lawyer or to pay for it, or a public defender. That's just the way it goes. That's the price we pay in this country. We all know that criminals get free lawyers and we have to pay for ours. Do we like that? Of course not. But that is the system, and if we don't like it, then we need to vote and make some changes and get it done differently. But in the meantime, that's the system in place. So as we're moving forward, we know that it's been a lot of conversation about who may have helped this guy elude the police for 4 days, being that they had a massive manhunt going. They had a lot of officers out there working double shifts, probably people from perhaps from other counties, volunteering to try to resolve this problem. And I feel better that the persons is off the street, because like I was talking to some people earlier, they would say, well, the police officers should have did their job, and I'm not going to snitch. And what I try to explain to them is that anybody that would kill 2 police officers for apparently no reason, it's not like they drew guns on him or tried to do something to him. They just simply was making a traffic stop. And for someone to do that, they could have did it to any of us in the streets. And I think that all our homes are safer with these people off the street, or that person off the street. And anybody that was helping that person, if they did help someone that had committed capital murder, then they deserve to go to jail as well, if they truly played a role in keeping him hid from the authorities. And if they can prove that, by all means, they should be arrested, because helping people to elude the police is not what we're supposed to be doing in this country, no matter how we feel or who the person is that we know. If we don't want to get ourselves in trouble, then stay away from trouble and we won't get in trouble. People understand that. Now, I do know that the young lady, the 22-year-old lady that was driving the vehicle. Now, I understand that there's some federal charges or a federal charge that they want to put on her, saying that she failed to inform anybody of a crime, that a felony had been committed. And so I didn't even know that was a law, because there's a lot of people that I am confident that in these streets every day that see crimes being committed and do not do anything about it, do not tell anybody anything about it. That's the way it is. So I didn't know that was actually a federal crime, but apparently according to the law, it's a federal crime. It makes you wonder now how many more crimes we're violating and not be aware of. I don't know. I don't believe that this lady should get the same punishment at the end that this guy's getting. I'm not sure to this point what her involvement is. Now, I know I read that that she would not tell the police anything about. She had a conversation with him, from what I read, after the situation, after the murders occurred, and that when she was taken into custody, according to the articles that I seen, that she wasn't willing to tell what type of conversation him and her had on the telephone together, which is a negative on her part, and also that she was just not a willing person altogether to really say very much to help them maybe bring this guy in. And that's probably was a negative as well, because if you're going to play the role of a victim and say that, you didn't know and you were scared, at least that's what her lawyer was saying. Her lawyer was saying in print that she was afraid, she was scared for her life, she was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. Last week when I had this same conversation, I said I was going to hold back and wait to see what her involvement was, because sometimes people are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sometimes I still don't believe that she knew he was going to actually shoot those officers. Even if she knew he had a gun on his person, or maybe he had one on his person hours before, weeks before, every day, I don't think that automatically draws a conclusion in her mind that a week later or 2 years later or 6 hours later that he's going to pull that weapon and kill 2 innocent people. I don't think she had that in her mind. I think where she went wrong, and I know people might disagree with this, that once he did do that and he ran north and she drove south, then she should have gone and reported that to someone. Now, allegedly, and I don't know, but I'm reading in the paper that someone said they gang related, said that he belongs to a big time gang. Well, that's true or not, I don't know. And that she may have some affiliations with that, according to what I've read. I have no firsthand knowledge of it. But if that is true, I could see where that might cause some problems too, because if you was to tell, some people call it snitching, but if you was to tell, her own life could be in danger through this type of activity. Now, I know people said, well, you know what?